It's September, which means it's time to review a new iPhone. And because it's an S year for the iPhone, we're going to have to look a little bit deeper for changes. But that's okay. It turns out that these new phones are all about going deeper. This is the iPhone 6S.
Yes,
And this is the iPhone 6S Plus. Surprise, they look just like the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus.
Really?
Let's just get this out there. I think if you're buying an iPhone, you should buy the bigger 6S Plus. It's clear that phones with bigger screens are going to dominate the market, and you get a slightly better camera and battery life to boot.
So it's actually really hard to review the iPhone 6S and the 6S Plus. It's the iPhone. Apple sales are skyrocketing. All these people around me in Times Square are taking pictures with their iPhones. The question isn't about specs. Of course the specs are getting better. The question is about how the decision Apple's made with this phone will trickle into all of the millions of iPhones they'll sell in the future.
The biggest new feature of the iPhone 6S is 3D Touch, which lets you actually push into the screen to activate additional features. There's also a new 12-megapixel camera that can shoot 4K videos, and something Apple calls live photos, which are kind of like a combination of a photo, a GIF, and a video. Because the iPhone 6S and 6S Plus look just like the 6 and 6 Plus, I think it's fair to say that they're not the world's most beautiful phones. The weird antenna lines in the back and the slippery shape pretty much just demand that you put them in a case. But the body is made of a new, higher-strength aluminum, and the screen has been upgraded with a stronger glass cover. So if you have an iPhone 6, you'll definitely notice the 6S and 6S Plus are a little bit thicker and heavier than the previous models. It's not much, it's just a few millimeters and a few grams, but it's definitely noticeable. I actually prefer the slightly heavier 6S to the 6. It feels a little bit less like it's going to fly out of my hands all the time. The extra size and weight comes from the 3D Touch components, which are a network of 96 sensors under the screen that measure the distance between the glass and the backlight. When you push down on the screen, that distance changes and the phone can respond. So on the home screen, pushing an icon gives you a list of quick actions you can take in certain apps, and when you're browsing in Safari, you can push lightly to get a preview of a link and push it a little bit harder to pop it open into a window. It's kind of like a little right click for your phone. You don't really need it, but once you get used to it, it's incredibly useful. That dynamic, what Apple calls peak and pop, is really the key to It's September, which means it's time to review a new iPhone. And because it's an S year for the iPhone, we're going to have to look